Reno, Nevada. 13-year-old driver Evan Rauscher.
Hello and welcome to Rauscher Racing Weekly. I'm your host, Thomas O'Boyle.
And I'm David Rauscher.
And we're coming off a championship weekend and we have some amazing news. Evan, Car 07, Rookie of the Year for Open Series.
Yeah, he got Rookie of the Year. That puts him, like as he said, in the record books at Cycleland, a prestigious track with the likes of like Kyle Larson and Rico Avery, which I know we've talked a lot about on the show. But,
right.
You know, it puts him on the same page as those guys. So that's good.
Right, but it gives him some perspective. Like, he's in the record book with some of those big-name players.
Right.
And now, you know, he wasn't concentrating on so much the points, but next year, that gives him a lot to look forward to.
Right. It gives him some confidence, you know, he's got something to lean on, that, you know, he's not just some schmuck out there going in circles. You know, he's proven himself for his first time out in this class. So
He is. And one of the things we wanted to talk about was the full season. So Blake had some crashes. Evan had a big crash. And then you had some problems with the vehicle throughout the season.
Right.
How do you feel coming off of a season and maybe getting a chance to say,
I'm ready for a little bit of a break. Unfortunately, we have this weekend off. And then we go to Red Bluff for their makeup for what they had for the West Coast Nationals is now the Burris Bullring Showdown, I think is what they're calling it.
Nice.
So now we're going to go from a big wide open track to a little bullring indoor track, which is going to be a whole nother set of issues.
The good thing about the indoor track is the weather. It's not going to affect your racing as much.
Well, it won't affect the racing. What it is it's Red Bluff's rainy season. So the pits are outside where you're still not covered up.
Oh,
so you're going to get wet. We walk out of there dripping most of the time.
Right.
And then it goes into the winter. So, you know, it's raining in Red Bluff and then snowing up on the mountain. So you're having to chain up both directions. Last year I went a couple of times with my brother and Brent, and it took us like 9 hours to get home one night.
Oh, man.
And it's only a
That's
3.5
long
hour
time.
drive
Yeah.
normally.
That's just
So,
crazy.
yeah.
So, talking about Blake for a minute, he finished 14th on the season.
Yep.
And he did well in the points, despite them saying they didn't want to. That's got to make you feel good as dad.
Right. If they could quit concentrating on points and just go out and have fun,
Right.
it makes it more fun. When you're points racing and you're counting points, well, I have to beat this guy by 4 spots.
Right.
You drive harder, you tend to drive over your head, and then bad
That's
things
where
happen.
mistakes come, right?
Right, yeah.
Absolutely. It's like basketball, football, any other sport. If you're concentrating on, I need these many points, blah, 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 you start shooting bad because you're overshooting.
Right, exactly. You need to go out and race the racetrack. Go as fast as you can go, and pass the guy when you catch him. That's what I always tell the boys. Pass him when you catch him. I've always told them that. You can't follow him around and expect to beat him. You have to pass him when you catch him.
Right.
If you think about it too much, you'll overthink it. And then when you're overthinking it, you're wasting laps. And unfortunately, the
making
races really
mistakes.
aren't that long. So,
And with Evan, he finished 15th, of course, Rookie of the Year, like we
Right,
said.
right.
So he was right up there and right in the mix. So
Right.
that's got to be a big deal.
right, for his first time out and be able to run with those guys, I think he held his own very well. So, yeah, I'm pretty proud of all of them. And then both finishing 14th and 15th, that shows that I don't have a favorite. You know,
Right.
My boys have the same darn equipment, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
So they're pretty equal, obviously.
So they finished up with championship weekend, and you get the weekend off, and then you're heading into Red Bluff. Now, Evan is going to become Brent's crew chief, correct?
Yes, Evan's going to go with them every week to the races and help keep his car running. Brent also works in the QRC trailer, which sells parts at the racetrack. So
Nice.
he'll be doing that when he's not in the car. So Evan's going to help his uncle get Brent's car ready and make adjustments, and you know, they can bounce things off each other. Evan's a really good setup guy. So.
And that keeps his mind on the race. And as he learns to set up someone else's car, that's going to help him next season as he rolls into his
Right.
own.
Yeah, it will. It'll keep him fresh and keep things in his mind. And you know, we are going to make a few appearances at Red Bluff this year. We're not going to run the full season.
Right.
pretty much because I just don't want to chain up every weekend to get over there. You know,
Right, exactly.
We'll go when the weather's nice. We'll be fair weather racers this winter.
Nothing wrong with that. So speaking of that, what do you do to prepare for the change of tracks and style of racing?
Well, to go to Red Bluff, you want the cars to look nice, but unfortunately, this track is so small. If you have brand new Nerf bars, we're going to pull them off. We're going to put on our bent up ones because they're going to get bent anyway.
Right.
You know, so let's not go out and spend $80 on the first lap on a Nerf bar. You know, we may run a backup wing. We definitely have to re-gear the car. It's a little paper clip track, so we have to loosen the cars up so that they'll turn tighter.
Okay.
So there's a few setup things that
So
change, but
it's almost like NASCAR, and there's a lot of bumping going on, and bumping and banging, as they say.
You're not going to get around this track at one lap without having contact. It's impossible. It's too small.
And how do you feel everything went overall? I mean, traveling there, getting back and forth. How do you feel coming to the end?
This whole summer season, it was trying, but I think all in all, it went very well.
Nice.
You know, I think honestly, we probably did better than anybody really expected us to, being the outsiders.
Right.
You know, there's a couple of people at the track that I gauge our progress off of, and we started beating them at the end. Yeah. So that tells me that we're going the right direction, not only on setup, but the maintenance of the car, the boys' driving styles, the way they can adapt to the track and the track conditions. Because even though it's the same track and it's put together by the same person week in and week out, the weather itself affects the track. So the dirt itself changes from the first race we were there to last weekend when we were there, and it gets better as the year goes on.
And you had said sometimes it changes even in mid-race.
Oh, the track will change lap to lap how it's going to take rubber. Sometimes we'll have rubber on the track before hot laps are over and qualifying even starts, and they have to go out and work the track. And other times we don't have rubber on the track until the main event starts.
Right.
And so it's all in the way that how hot it is and how dry the track is or how much moisture it's got. So.
And we'll talk to you again at the end of the show. We'll be right back after this. As a seller, you want three things. 1, to get your home sold quickly. 2, to move on with your life with the most amount of money possible. And 3, with the least amount of hassle. Let's chat over a cup of coffee so you can begin your next journey. Call or text Joe Loyce today to schedule your free consultation. 775-720-3341 and red S169631.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals, chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
All right, and welcome back to Rauscher Racing Weekly. Again, I'm your host, Thomas LeBoyle, and I'm here with both brothers, Blake and Evan, for this episode as we get ready to wrap up the season. And I guess we'll go over to you first, Evan, and we got to give you the congratulations. Rookie of the Year, and you're in the record books. How do you feel?
Thank you. Yeah, it feels pretty good to be in the record books like Kyle Larson and Rico Abreu. And I think Logan Seavey, I think he got Rookie of the Year his open year too. So it's pretty cool to be in the record books with them.
Pretty amazing. And Blake, coming to the end of the season, how do you feel your entire season went? I know you had a couple bumps through the season, a really bad wreck at one point. Had a little bump in this weekend. How do you feel?
I think it was pretty good. Wasn't the worst, but it wasn't like the best. We could have done a little bit better, I think. But I think going into next year, we're doing pretty good for like what we know now.
Right. So you finished 14th overall, and that's going to make you feel good because, as I was saying to your dad, you weren't trying to concentrate too much on the points, but you still did well despite all the accidents and car troubles. So you guys really did well.
Yeah, we did pretty good for all that. I didn't really focus too much on that, like you said. So I went out there, try to do my best. So next time we can go out and I can do better. So now that I know what to do to set up the car, because towards the end of the couple races, I was also helping set up Evan's car a little bit to help him get better, because he's seen what I was doing. I was finishing better than him a couple times, and then so we're trying to put that all together. I think we got a good base is for what we got for next year.
And that helps you with, like you said, it'll help you with next season because you helped work on his car, which will help you learn how to set your own car and maybe start trying to push now for that championship run, right?
Yeah. So yeah, well, definitely feels good to have the setup we have now so that we know go up there and we'll start off strong next year instead of guessing like we were this year.
Right, exactly. And Evan, you run Rookie of the Year. You finished 15th, just one right behind your brother. You had the big accident, gave you a bell ringer. You had some other car problems. You have to feel good about how your season went.
Yeah, it was pretty good. How Blake said, our season wasn't the best, but also wasn't the worst. And then this past weekend, I actually did really good, and I found out what I was doing wrong. For the rest of the year, I was trying to drive my car like my 250, and with the opens, you just can't do that.
And so, as this season's ending, how do you feel moving on to next season, coming back?
I feel super good. I think we'll have a pretty strong chance at getting the championship.
You think you have any big changes to your car, or is it just minor tweaks?
I think it's minor tweaks. I think after this next upcoming race, we're going to send our engine off to Montana and get it looked at and then be ready for next season.
And for you, do you feel you have any major fixes on your car, or it's pretty much like your brother, some minor tweaks?
Just minor stuff, yeah. There's nothing too much. My car is we got everything pretty good, so hopefully we just get some of the little things fixed and we'll go out there and we'll start strong.
Now, as you're getting ready to go do some racing here and there at Red Bluff, how do you guys feel about moving indoor into the smaller track?
I feel pretty good. I mean, it's a lot tighter racing. You're going to have to move people a lot more than you do at cycling because it's a lot smaller. But besides that, I think I'll be told my own.
And for you, moving on to Red Bluff?
I've raced in the open class a couple times, and it's way different because, my dad was saying, there's a lot of contact. People aren't afraid to move you around to get where they're going. So you got to be very aggressive, and it's pretty nerve-wracking when you're getting to go there because it's very fast. You feel like you're entering one corner, and you come out, and it feels like you're just going right into the next. It's really physical racing there because you're just up on the wheel the whole time.
And are you guys looking forward to the break? I know you're moving into some basketball season and stuff to do for school. How do you feel for your winter season coming up?
I feel pretty good. It's just going to be a lot of work doing basketball and going to the track on Saturday, but I think I'll be able to do it.
And for you, how do you feel about basketball season, and are you looking forward to it?
Oh yeah, definitely looking forward to basketball season because we didn't know if we were going to get one this year, so right. I'm glad we're doing that, but it's kind of sad that we're taking a little bit of racing off, but it's okay because we did a lot of racing this summer, so hopefully we'll be pretty good at winter.
And before we go and check out your race, I'll let you guys, do you have any sponsors or anybody you'd like to give any kind of special shout outs to for the season and helping?
Yeah, I would like to thank Brady Built Performance, the Pizza Factory, and my aunt, my uncle for helping us to get through the season.
And are you looking forward to being crew chief for your cousin?
Yeah, I am. It's going to be a different ballpark game. I have to get back down to the 250s, but I think I'll be able to help him out pretty good and get him some good finishes.
And doing that, do you think that will help you with next season?
I might, yeah. I mean, it'll kind of get me the idea of what to set up my car to run Red Bluff and everything.
And as we're getting ready to go check out the race, do you have anybody yourself you'd like to give the shout out to?
My mom, Kim's Custom Tumblers, and who else did really help this year? I'm trying to think. It's kind of hard sometimes. When
just everybody, right, on the car?
Yeah, everybody on the car. Everybody that helped out this season, we thank them a lot.
Nice. All right, well, we're going to check out your race, and then we'll go to a break, and I'll be in with your mom. So let's take a look.
Okay.
Realty One Group Eminence is opening doors across the globe. One home, one dream, one life at a time. If you're looking to buy or sell, call or text Jolois Egbert Palmer at 775-720-3341. And tune into her show every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on CSTV's Facebook page. NRED S169631. All City Lawn and Landscaping, Nevada Contractor License 0086520. We are a locally owned family business, and our crew consists of honest and hardworking individuals who are determined to guarantee client satisfaction. We can take care of all your yard work and landscaping needs. Please do not hesitate to call us today for all inquiries or to schedule your free estimate. 775-720-8794. All City Lawn and Landscaping can do these jobs for you. Book. Need new installation? How about those trenches? We got you. Landscaping, design, and installation. Sod, rock, sprinklers, landscaping, construction on new homes, complete landscaping, renovation, and more. Complete lawn and landscaping maintenance, fertilization, pre and post endangerment, irrigation, installation, and maintenance. Pavers with your landscape design. Aeration, detaching, irrigation, turn-on, cleanups. Fully licensed and bonded and insured. You live the city life and leave the lawn care to us. All right, race fans, welcome back to Rauscher Racing Weekly. I'm here with Mom Rauscher, Kimberly of the Rauscher Racing team. You guys came to the end of the season. Your son got Rookie of the Year, Evan, car 07. You got to be feeling pretty good about that.
I was really stoked. We didn't keep track of any of that kind of stuff, so I was really shocked when they called his name. I was really happy for him. That is a big accomplishment.
And Blake finished 14th, and he's said all season he's not worried about the points, but he did well.
He did very well. 91 Karts actually signed up for points this year at Cycleland in the open class. So
yeah, 14 out of 91. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, obviously, not all of them ran every single race, and not of doing it competitively. But yes, out of that many karts, 14th, 15th is great. So
this season you had a couple big accidents, and how do you feel going in, now that they've had those, and maybe next season you feel a little more comfortable with them in the car, or is it still always tough?
I'm usually pretty okay on the big tracks like Cycleland. It doesn't bother me as much. When they do go to Red Bluff, it's a little more nerve-wracking. I always hold my breath when my kids are on the track there because it's a lot smaller. But we're going to put some vinyl on the bottom of Blake's car that says "Hi, Mom."
Right, we talked about that. I love it.
So we can show that off since he's always on his lid. So.
Yeah, because he got a little spin this weekend too, right?
Yeah, he kind of slid and tipped over and then right back up.
Right back up. So yeah, and they're all safe. I guess your season coming to an end. Are you ready for a bit of a break, or are you looking forward to Red Bluff?
We do kind of like the break. Also, at the same time, we're always like, ooh, let's plan on going racing. We should be racing. Let's go racing. So it's kind of a catch-22.
And Brent had a good season,
He did.
250 series, and as being the whole family, how's that come in every weekend? Is there, I don't know, does it make it better that it's the whole family?
It does. It's really nice to have your family right there. We pit next to each other. The kids are there. We're always, helping each other out. If something happens, everybody's willing to jump in and help each other out. And I think that's sometimes the only reason we can get back out onto the track is because, the uncles, the aunts are all there, to help mom and dad.
And, I asked Evan about how he felt going into doing some crew chief stuff for Brent. Do you think that will help him going forward?
I think it will help him, learning the makeup of the car and doing that. Obviously, there's some differences in the open class and the 250 class, so he'll have to, use the math and adjustments for his car to make that better. But I think it will long-term help him.
And we gave everybody else a chance. Do you have anybody that you would like to give a special shout out to or a thank you to for the season?
We always want to thank Stingray Tattoo. They've been with our race team now for 10 years.
Wow.
Graffiti City,
Nice.
yes.
Yeah, nice.
Rancher's Diesel Repair, Artistic Fence, Brady Built Performance, definitely, and Brent Rauscher Motorsports.
And before we go to the break, since we're here in the North Valleys and everything else, you have your thing going on, and Kim's Custom Tumblers.
Yes.
So how can they get a hold of you if they're looking for some tumblers?
Yes, on Facebook, Kim's Custom Tumblers. So, yes.
All right. Well, as always, I want to say thank you for bringing your family to us and allowing us to do this show and joining us at times. And we look forward to more racing as the season goes and changes over.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
And we'll be back. Do you want your home to shine? Well, look no further because at All About Cleaning Service, we always have room for you. We are licensed and insured local business serving Reno, Sparks, and the North Valleys areas. We also provide service to Fernley. We offer the following services: one-time cleaning, bi-weekly cleaning, monthly cleaning, move-in outs, and deep cleans. We are currently running specials for our community. Our girls are reliable, trustworthy, and we can honestly say they are amazing. We put our heart and dedication into what we do. Contact us today, 775-799-0949. Facebook, All About Cleaning Service. Email, allaboutcspro@gmail.com. No mess, no fuss, just cleaning.
From food truck to restaurant, North Valley's Hawaiian food truck favorite. Aloha Shack. Enjoy Kahlua pork cheese shell tacos, the curry burger, or even Kahlua pork nachos. Aloha Shack just off of Exit 78, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. with a Saturday brunch served from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Takeout only, call 775-622-8825.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals, chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
Hello and welcome back from the break. I'm with Derek Rauscher, filling in for Brent this week as Brent's enjoying some vacation time. Derek, the season has come to an end at Cycleland, and we're ready to have a little break and move on and recap the season.
Yeah, we get about a weekend off, so.
Right, and then you're rolling right into the winter season,
Yeah,
right?
rolling right into the fall showdown at Red Bluff, so.
At Red Bluff. Now, before we get into that, let's talk about the season. How do you think your son, again, at 10 years old, and I've said all season, I think he did an amazing job. He's so intelligent with his racing knowledge. So how do you feel the season went?
The season went okay. We had some ups and downs. We had a few motor issues at the beginning. We had to run the spare motor. but Rich at Motosource that builds all our engines for us really knocked it out of the park and gave us the great support that we needed to keep him competitive. He's come a long way with his driving and being able to convey what he wants to feel in the car, whether it's too tight, too loose. He doesn't like the tire on the right rear. He wants a different one. But the season went okay. We had some issues with tearing up a car, completely destroying it, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, so he had that one major wreck, and as dad, how did you feel about that and his recovery and getting back out there again?
After his big crash, and they threw the red flag and they blew the open red horn, and I got to him. His only concern wasn't about him. He was wondering if the car would even roll. He goes, "Is there any way we're going to finish?" The right front was ripped off the car. The axle was bent.
Crazy kid.
And that was his one DNF of the year.
Right.
He didn't have any other ones due to a crash or driver fault or black flag, stuff like that. So we just got to get him to search a little more on the track to get the feeling he wants. So at the end of Cycleland and getting to stay in his car, I think is going to be way better for next season at Cycleland.
Absolutely.
Because he had all last winter off. He only got in his car a couple times, but he worked with the factory QRC guys. He was there working on the factory cars, selling parts at Red Bluff. So he knows how the track runs,
That's good.
kind of how the track's going to go. So we're just hoping to keep momentum, roll into this winter deal, and
speaking
keep on
of keeping the momentum going, that's one of the big things he talked about was he wasn't looking for so much going after the points this year, that he wanted to turn the laps. And how do you feel that went for him as getting lap times as dad, of course?
seat time is crucial. If you're out of your car for any length of time, you don't feel the feeling like you would if you were in your car week in and week out. There's guys that we know and friends that we have that they race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and sometimes a middle of the week race, or they're traveling.
Right.
So, but
at 10 years old, that's not really feasible for somebody, right?
not yet.
Not yet.
So we're gonna travel quite a bit this winter.
Nice.
So between Red Bluff, he's trying to talk his mom into Lakeport, where he's a junior outlaw champion there. He's a points champion up there.
Wow. So see, I learned something new this week. I didn't even know. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that championship?
The junior outlaw class, it's basically a run what you brung.
Okay.
As long as it started out as a 9 horsepower or less motor. So we had a local engine builder then build those motors. They ran on a 110 race fuel. Had a bump box to start them. He swept 5 complete nights out of 9 nights there.
Oh, wow.
Which was
Very
number
nice.
one qualifier. He won the heat, won the dash, and won the main.
Nice.
So he ended up with like a 400 point gap up there.
So, in reality, at 10 years old, as I keep doting on that, he's got a lot of seat time, basically.
Yes, he's got a lot of seat time
nice.
in different, not really different cars, but different style of car.
And tracks,
and
right?
tracks.
So he's got a lot of, he's got a variety of experience.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think total he's been at 9 different racetracks.
Wow. At 10, by 10.
By
Yeah,
10.
That's just crazy. That's amazing. So as we're ending this season of Cycleland, why don't you tell the fans a little bit about where you're going to be racing next and what kind of track it is?
So we're going to race the Red Bluff Outlaws. It's an indoor racetrack at the Tamara Fairgrounds in Red Bluff.
Indoor, so that's a lot different.
Way different.
Right.
It's a tight, short little track, a lot of beating, a lot of banging, but they're still 65, 70 miles an hour in a building.
Right.
For the 250 class. The dirt's different. The weather, it could be dumping rain outside and you're still racing.
Doesn't matter,
So
right? So where is this located?
It's the Tamara Fairgrounds in Red Bluff. I'm not exactly sure the address of it.
Right.
So, but that's the home of factory QRC.
Nice, okay.
So Brent's gonna drive his own car there, but he's gonna be still working for factory cars. He's gonna be in the parts trailer selling parts and stuff like that.
Nice.
And then he'll run over, jump in his car, and go out and race. And come back and sell some more parts.
So you're all ready for it?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for Red Bluff. His mom's not so excited, but
Right.
I think it's because of the amount of beating and banging and people. There's fist fights probably
Oh, wow.
week in and week out in the pit area where you don't see it on Fast 4 because they're just showing the races and everything. So
Right. So we're going to show the race from this past weekend, championship weekend, and then we're going to go to a break, and then we'll bring in Samantha and get her feeling on the end of the season.
yeah, sounds good.
All right, let's take a look. As a seller, you want 3 things. 1, to get your home sold quickly. 2, to move on with your life with the most amount of money possible. And 3, with the least amount of hassle. Let's chat over a cup of coffee so you can begin your next journey. Call or text Joe Loyce today to schedule your free consultation. 775-720-3341 and red S169631.
Are you too tired to cook? Tired of driving into town? Check out Fuego Habanero at Chuck's Market on the corner of Village Parkway and Cold Springs Drive. Come enjoy delicious, fresh, local, and authentic Mexican food such as carne asada street tacos, burritos, and their homemade avocado salsa. Brought to you, the customer, by us at Fuego Habanero.
All right, race fans, welcome back to Rauscher Racing Weekly. As you can see, we've been joined by Mom of Brent, Samantha Rauscher, and we're here to talk about the season coming to an end and your feelings on it. As I was talking to your husband, he's got a lot of track time I didn't know about, and this season he wanted to concentrate more on lap time than points. So how do you feel the season went for him as mom?
I think the season went overall pretty well. Long tracks are not his strong suit. It's not where he's happy at every track, but it's not where he's happiest. He's much happier at short tracks. So we'll see what the winter brings. I'm never looking forward to driving over the mountain in the snow.
Right.
Red Bluff is just a different style of competition, and so I have put it off for as long as I can, and the time has come, so here it is.
So we know we had the one big accident and a little bit of bell rung. How did you feel going into that and then allowing him to get back out there?
I wouldn't say I'm immune, but I feel a little immune. I've watched a few of them. Our boys are in the safest equipment they can be in. If something happens, I know that we've given them every piece of equipment they need, and that whatever happened was a part of what they love to do.
Nice. And as Derek was saying, we're getting ready to move into Red Bluff, and sometimes he said there gets a little hectic with the parents, and there's some fighting going on. Is that what's making you feel?
No, the parents don't bother me at all. We all have a lot into our kids. I think that we hold them to a high standard. We spend a lot of money. We go to work. All those things. So I think that's what parents get upset about. Not what I'm worried about. I am worried a little bit about there is no room at Red Bluff. So drivers tend to make room, and the only way to make room is to move somebody. So
right,
it gets a little bit
some
more
good old NASCAR bumping, right?
Yeah.
That, and they also race to the yellow there. So
right.
if the track is blocked,
they get
the first one to it normally piles in, and
oh wow, it's crazy.
It can be a massive pile up, and nobody makes it back to the start finish line.
So we talked to Evan earlier. He won Rookie of the Year this year for his Open Series, and being family, that's got to feel good.
Yep, it's a big deal for us. That put him in the record books at Cycleland, and
record books.
We really couldn't be more proud. Evan is, I'll call him the nerd of our racers. He won't like it when he sees this,
right.
But he actually reads and reviews the film and does things. Brent tends to be a racer among racers. He likes to hear racers, look at the track, feel things out. Studying, not his thing. But Evan definitely will read any book that has to do with racing, read the gear charts. He's putting in the work to get there.
Well, before we go to a break, that brings in some good things because, like you said, he is a racer of racers, but as he gets older and maybe takes on some of that Evan and doing the studying, I mean, you can only imagine the growth for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Brent's potential is endless. This is really where he wants to be, so it's all about putting in the miles, I guess. That's my job.
And finally, did you want to give any of your sponsors a shout out for Brent Rauscher Racing?
Yes, we would like to thank Rich at Motorsource for building competitive engines. Kurt from Protofab. They built us custom tools for doing tires and other stuff. And we got to thank Kenny and Amelia for being behind Brent 110%. And the same thing with Ashley and Tim Cooper. They big supporters. They live in Oregon, and they make the 6.5-hour trip to Cycleland.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's nice.
A couple times a year to watch him. So
very nice.
It's a big thanks to them for standing behind him and watching him do what he loves.
Nice. All right, well, I can't thank you guys enough for bringing your family in for this season for Cycleland. And we're not done yet. We're going to move right into fall season, winter season, which one they want to call it, and at Red Bluff. So we have a lot of racing still to come for you. And we'll be back with Rauscher Racing Weekly after this. Realty One Group Eminence is opening doors across the globe. One home, one dream, one life at a time. If you're looking to buy or sell, call or text Jolois Egbert Palmer at 775-720-3341. And tune into her show every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on CSTV's Facebook page. NRED S169631. All right, welcome back to Rauscher Racing Weekly. Again, I'm your host, Thomas O'Boyle, for this final wrap-up of the championship weekend. I'm here with David Rauscher. David, we had the show. We talked to everybody. Evan with the Rookie of the Year award, Brent doing his thing. The moms came in and talked. Derek came and talked. As you come to the end of the season, I know you look forward to the break, but you got to miss the racing.
I do. Racing's in my blood. Kim and I will sit at home on a Saturday night and be looking at each other and don't know what to do because we're not at a racetrack. So, right. Then we both look at each other like, I'm bored. What do you want to do? I don't know. We should be racing. What do you want to do? I don't know. I'm bored. We should be racing. And so, I don't know. We probably won't sit at home as much as we would like to or think we're going to. Right. There's always racing somewhere. So
you think the boys are looking forward to the break as much as they say, or do you think they'll get that driver itch?
I think Blake's looking forward more to the break than Evan is. I think Blake is, I don't know, he's in his senior year of high school, so, he's starting to kind of blossom and become his own man, I guess, and he's going to want to hang out with his buddies and whatnot, which is totally understandable, so.
And as we are wrapping up the season, and then you're going to get ready for next season, and we know you got Rookie of the Year on the team, and Blake finished 14th. How can anybody that would like to newly sponsor you get a hold of you to maybe sponsor for next season?
You can get a hold of us on our Facebook page at Rauscher Racing, or you can email us at rauscherracing95@yahoo. Like you said before, every little bit helps. It's an expensive sport, but believe me, if somebody's, they're like, hey, we got $10, believe me, we would take it. Right. Because that, just to get the family into the racetrack, not to get the cars on the track, but just to get the four of us into the racetrack's $100. Right. So I mean, a $10 or $25.
Yeah, because you still have to pay that entry fee, right?
Right, exactly. It's and I think it's like $25 or something like that to get each of the boys on the track. Right. Fuel's $15.50 a gallon for what they run.
Oh wow.
That's
so expensive fuel. We worry about $3 a gallon.
Right, exactly, and that's not including putting tires on the truck, putting fuel in the truck.
Right.
Getting to the racetrack.
Yeah, because you still got to haul everything there.
Right, exactly. We got to get everything there. We got to eat while we're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So I know you have some specialty sponsors for next season. Would there be any kind of specialty sponsors you might think you would need to add in particular?
I don't. It's hard to say really what you're going to need. If we could get somebody to pitch in and help out with fuel and tires, that's our major expense. So.
All right. And with Red Bluff coming and the change of the track, just the track alone, do you enjoy that kind of different setting and getting to do something different, or is it not that big of a change for you?
No, it's like Kim said, this track is breathtaking. It's hard to watch your kids run a lap at this place just because there's going to be contact, and there's always risk. I don't care what kind of racing you do. If you're going to put a helmet on and you're going to go fast, there's a risk. I enjoy my boys being strapped into a car and having a roll cage around them over somebody riding a motorcycle. But this place is breathtaking. It took Kim and I a couple of years to be able to get used to be able to just breathe when they're out there pace lapping, you know what I
Right.
mean? So, you know, but then again, when they go to Cycleland and they're going 80 miles an hour down the straightaway, you know, disaster can strike there, and it has. It bit us a couple times this year. So, you know, but knock on wood, the boys were safe. But it's a welcome change. I'm ready to, you know, change it up a little bit. You
Right.
know,
Absolutely.
there's a few people we get to see at Red Bluff that are good friends of ours that don't race at Cycleland a whole bunch. So.
There you go. And as we get ready to wrap up this show for this season, we're going to continue to bring you shows each week. We have other things planned. But I do want to say for this season that ended, I want to thank you personally for joining me, co-hosting the show, and bringing your family to us, the North Valleys, Reno, and soon some other big things going on. But,
Right.
you know, we really want to say thank you for joining us, and I greatly appreciate you giving us your time. So
Well, thanks for doing this and bringing us to everybody. You guys will get a look into our past, where we came from, why we do this, why is it in our blood. I just turned 41. I've been at the racetrack probably 41 years. You know, I've been there. I grew up there. It's my life. It's what we do.
And that's what
So-
you're doing with your granddaughter right now. She's always
Right.
out at the track, right?
She was there when she was just weeks old. So.
And we'll bring those shows to them because we want to show them the history of the Rauscher family.
Yeah,
So
there-
those are
there's
big
a lot.
episodes coming.
Like I always say, we're like an onion. We have many layers. So
Many
you'll get
layers,
to see
eh?
a lot of them.
Love it. And again, congratulations to Evan for winning Rookie of the Season in the Open class. And we'll see you next week for Rauscher Racing Weekly.